everyone, in this video we're gonna create a game together. So here's the challenge: create a simple game where the user will try to guess a random generated number within a certain range. So whenever I get a Python any problem that I need to solve, I need to break down into small pieces. So what I'm thinking right now is I need to generate random numbers. I also need to take user input. I need to compare the first two, compare random numbers versus user input. I would also think of tracking the attempts. How many times does it take to be able to guess, to guess, to get the correct guess? And of course, I need to exit my game successfully. I'll change this onto a markdown and I'll run this cell. All right, so these are the steps that I need to take. And let's get started. So whenever we're talking of random, I'm thinking of using the random module. So let's go ahead and import the random module. All right, so our fixed function will generate random numbers. So def generate random number. All right, so I want to assign this random number to a choice, computer choice, rand int. I need it to be in the space of 1 to 100. Then I'll return the choice. All right, so I might call it to see if it's working as I expect. Generate. Let's see. All right, so it's generating numbers between 1 and 100. So yes, let's go ahead and create the second function. Now, this second function will take the user input. All right, so this is the player choice. I want it to be an integer, and also so that I'll be able to compare it with the number that is generated. So this function will generate an integer. So I'm passing it to an integer so that I'm because strings because input function always return a string. So that's why I'm using the integer here to be able to have an integer on the results and compare it with the first one. So guess a number between I put some space in there. All right. So I want to capture this so that I can be able to use it later. So I'll return it. For now, let me see if I can input, run the whole thingy. There you go. All right. There you go. I need to close this one. That looks good to me. All right, guess it now between 0 and 100. Let me just set that for. All right. So now I've created two functions. one to generate random numbers. The second one is to prompt the user to select the to choose the number between 0 and 100. All right. So now what I need to do is to create another function that is able to compare the two, the random number generated by the computer and also the user input. So I will say this one, check match. So this one will take two variables. It will take the player choice and the choice by the computer. I'll need to be able to compare these two and the one from the computer. All right. So now what I need to do is to be able to convey it. So I'm thinking of a while loop. So while player choice is not equal to choice, so while this input is not equal to this one, what do I want to do? So I'm gonna check if player choice is less than choice. Print, I wanna prompt the user to guess a little higher. Else, else if is greater than choice, all right, all right, all right. So I'm checking if these two are not equal, these two, then ask a check to see if the player choice is less than the computer generated choice. Then if that's the case, return guess a little higher or print guess a little higher. If the player choice is greater than choice, I want it to guess a little lower. And also now, I want it to keep on asking um, the user to keep on. I want to call this function user input to be able to keep on asking the user to enter the input. All right. So when everything else is done, I want it to be able to print the results. So print. Let me use a formatted string here. All right. You won. The number was choice, the computer choice. And also, I'm thinking now. Okay, that's fine. Let's go ahead and now be able to play the game. So I need another function, which I call play game. So this play game function, all right, choice generated now, which is this one, player choice, user input. Yeah. Then I want to check the match. And of course, my two variables. And play all the functions here, the game. All right. So the last step was to track the number of attempts. The best way to do this is to just use the counter variable. So I'll count this one within the check match. But I wanted to notice that we have already asked the user to input here. So when it comes to this function, when it's come to run this function, this will be already one. So I'll set it on one. I'll initialize it at one. And also when I run this one, at the end of it all, I want to, every time when it runs it, I want to add one attempt to the attempt where the user inputs whatever random number between 0 and 100, actually between 1 and 100 here, because it's 1 and 100. And also I want to be able to return the number your attempts. All right. So I'm thinking also to reduce this number, maybe to a small number, so that to see if my code works. Let's run. Guess a number between 0 and 100. I would also need to change here to 0 and 10. So let me guess 2. It asks me again to guess another number. Then you say 5. Go a little lower. I'll go at 4. I'll go at 3, 2. You won. The number was 2 and your attempts were 4. All right. So this is the basic game that I've created. Actually, I don't need generate num here. Make it a little bit cleaner and remove this one. Let's see one more time. Just make it a little bit cleaner. Of course, if you are building a production code, you need to add comments, but this is the basic. Go a little lower. All right, so let me go at 2, 1. You won. Your attempts were 3. You can add more functionality to this one to say, let's say right here, add a print statement, say, hey, welcome to the game, whatever, whatever. And also you can, but basically this is just a game to play, but there's a more you can do to this game. So thank you for watching and bye-bye.